Brit here. There's a woman I know who comes into the same coffee shop every Thursday morning. She pays cash, she drives a 10-year-old Camry, and she dresses simply, nothing flashy, nothing flamboyant. And for the longest time, I assumed she was retired. Comfortable, but ordinary. And you know what they say about assumptions. They make an ass out of you and an ass out of me. Because then I found out she sold her business in 2021 for just shy of $8 million. She never said a word about it. Not one. And that's quiet wealth. Reminds me of my dad. And really, once you start seeing it, you can't unsee it. Because the wealthy don't look the way that Instagram has trained you to expect them to look. And as a Christian woman building something real and lasting, I think that really matters because the habits of genuine wealth line up a lot more closely with biblical wisdom than anything you'll see on your social media feed. And here are some things that genuinely wealthy women do that almost nobody notices. They pick one or two things to spend real money on, and they let everything else be plain. Not every item needs to be expensive, just a couple of really good quality items, and the rest is simple, unremarkable. And that's stewardship, that's wisdom. The Proverbs 31 woman was clothed in fine linen, not because she was showy, but because she built well and spent wisely. Next, they think in decades, not days. Every conversation I've had with a very wealthy woman pulls forward in time. She's not talking about this month's stress. She's thinking about what she's learning and what she's leaving behind. Because generational thinking, it's not a wealth trick. It's a biblical one. Next, they never really volunteer what things cost. It's nobody's business. The uncompromised announcements where people perform like how much this car cost or how much that cost, that doesn't really happen with the genuinely wealthy. They don't need to tell everybody. In fact, it's embarrassing for them to speak about things and how much they cost. There's no performance of financial status. And when you're actually secure, you don't need other people's opinions or validation to confirm it. And the Bible says with humility comes wisdom. And the woman who has built something real doesn't need you or me to be impressed by it. Next, they're not rushed. Let that land. This one stopped me in my tracks. When I first noticed it, the genuinely wealthy women, they don't carry panic energy. They don't rush through meals. They don't respond to everybody's urgency as if it's their own. They've learned something most of us spend decades chasing. The whole point of building wealth, at least one of them, is to stop being rushed. Time is the actual prize. Next, they look unbothered when things go wrong. The deal falls through, the plan changes, something breaks, and they exhale, adjust, and keep moving. And that's what Philippians 4:7 looks like in real life. A peace that passes understanding, showing up in how you handle every day, how you handle a bad day. Emotional steadiness is one of the most powerful things you can carry into any room or relationship or family. Next, they're private. This is the most countercultural one on my list today. Genuinely wealthy women are almost impossible to find online. But not because they're hiding anything, but because they understand that attention costs you something. I've thought long and hard about even if I wanted to have this YouTube channel. My heart is to share things with people that will help you bypass some of the pain I've lived through. Simple, biblical, truth tips for a better life. So a wealthy woman doesn't want every detail broadcasted as information to other people. Privacy is not secrecy, it's wisdom and it's protection. Next, and this one changed me most probably, they act like wealthy women before they become wealthy women. Not fake, not performative, but in the decisions they make when no one's watching, in how they steward what they already have, and in the standards that they hold for themselves privately. You don't earn your way into this. You behave your way into it. Let that land. The money follows the posture, not the other way around. And I know this from my own life. There was a season where I had almost nothing, and I made it a decision to start managing what I had, like it really mattered. To think longer, to move slower, to stay quiet about what I was building. And the internal shift was the beginning of everything that came after. Quiet wealth is biblical. It's powerful. And it starts today with what you already have. I remember a time where my mentor was talking about little luxuries in life. And she was very poor. She was an amazing actress. But she was talking about going and having a cup of tea. And it was just at the beginning of a time where I went to work for CBS television. I had nothing. I was living in a studio apartment that my folks helped me furnish. And at the time, living paycheck to paycheck, just getting started. And we went to tea, and I noticed she delicately took out of her purse a tea bag, ordered hot water, and gave me a tea bag. And I thought, I'll order hot water instead of a $7 luxury coffee drink that I didn't really need. And I'll tell you, I enjoyed that. I learned to do that. And I can't say I'm always perfect now. I think I indulge more than the perfect Proverbs 31 woman would. Yet I'm building, and I know what is necessary and what is not. And I will just share a little narc on myself about this. I hired an electrician this morning. I always get a couple bids. This is the first time I haven't done this in years. And installing one light outside the front door, you know, the lantern that you flip the switch on the inside of the house and it goes on. Well, my mom had given me this beautiful sconce and I hadn't used it in a year because I just didn't want to have an electrician out. We travel and yada, yada, all the excuses. And I decided today was the day before I would do some filming and talk to you all. So I had an electrician come out. First sign was he was 2 hours late. Second sign was he brought an apprentice and they seemed to work twice as long as it would have taken one person just to get in and do the job. 3, he told me it would take 2, maybe 3 hours tops. They finished in 5 hours and it took $700. Now that might not seem like a lot to some people. I'm blessed I have it. I'm glad I have it. Okay, it's done. My mom gave me the piece and that's fine. But at the moment I thought, you know what? Should have got 2 or 3 bids, Britt. And it could have been at least half that amount. So anyway, I digress. If you want to build inside of a community of women who get what I'm talking about here, the link's in the description. Just comment quiet below and I'll send it to you directly. Again, quiet wealth is biblical. It's powerful. It feels fantastic. And you don't need to go around telling everyone about it. And it can start today with what you already have. I'd love to support you in doing that. We've got a community of fabulous women building in there together. We encourage one another, share tips and tools and tricks to not only increase our wealth, but mental stability, family legacy, and we're building generational wealth while we're at it. So I invite you to join us in the Abundant Destiny. Again, links below. And if no one told you today, just remember, you are beloved.